Hi there, it's your friend John here, and I hope you're really well and having a lovely morning. It's 8:30 on a Thursday morning here in England, and I'm just having my juice. This is my breakfast. If you want to have a quick juice recipe from me, this is maybe 3/4 of a kilo of carrots, a couple of nice big apples, and a piece of ginger about this size. And this will kind of get me through the morning. I just feel like I really want to have juice because I've been travelling around all over the place in the last 3 or 4 days. I was in Edinburgh, I was in Bradford at a school on Monday, Edinburgh Tuesday, Manchester last night, and then back to Bradford today, but for a different project for my book group. So the UK rather, is not a huge country, it's only like 900 miles or something from top to bottom, but kind of doing loops around it can be pretty tiring because things move quite slowly here because it's quite a dense kind of traffic and so on. Anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video. I've not done one like this for a while, just a little kind of bloggy check-in sort of thing, and I just wanted to see how you are. I was teaching meditation at Lululemon in Manchester last night, and it was just really beautiful. We had lots of people come, and I've just been reflecting on how sort of really blessed I am with my work. It's kind of unfolding and things are being a little bit more visible, and I'm getting kind of to kind of meet people that I wouldn't have met before and so on. So it's really kind of lovely to kind of see that side of things as the days go on, as the weeks go on, and so on. Monday I was doing my final session in the school where I've been creating a meditation and reflection and self-care model, working with the kids and with the teachers. And the project is called Being Present, and we're going to offer it out to other schools because it's had a really high impact on the school. The school was a not failing school, but it was kind of below national standards, quite far down just 2 or 3 years ago. And I've been working with the school on this stuff for about 6 months or so, and things have really changed. Now they're at standard now, and in fact Ofsted have just come in. Ofsted, for those of you who are not in the UK, are the regulatory board who come in and basically mark the school and kind of, see if they're meeting certain targets and so on and so on. And they just had their draft report in, and it actually mentioned our work in that draft report, in that children were a much higher level of self-management than in many schools, and that kind of they were more open to learning and that their spiritual needs were being met. So this is really beautiful to kind of get this feedback, and we had because it's so interesting what we're doing, it caught the attention of the BBC, and again, if you're not in the UK, there's kind of like you have like the main news on at night. I don't watch TV, so but I remember that you have the main news at 6 o'clock, and then after the news you have like the kind of the regional news. And so BBC Look North is the kind of the regional news for Yorkshire and Humberside and so on, and it has over 1 million viewers, and then whoever watches on the internet and things, and so they came in and they filmed me guiding meditation, which I think is extraordinary. The fact that meditation can be seen now a little bit more in the mainstream, and that there's kind of curiosity about it, and that it's kind of backed up with real sort of data that the kind of people watching hopefully will kind of understand, because I mean we turn to science all the time to kind of give things the nod of approval and kind of ignore the poets and the sages and the wisdom teachers of thousands and thousands of years and the integrative science of yoga and so on. And we kind of ignore that and kind of, we look to kind of this kind of discipline that's just maybe been going just for a few hundred years, and kind of put a lot of stock in that. So, science is a religion too. And statistics is a very, very strange religion. But yeah, it was just really fascinating to kind of have sort of 3 minutes of mainstream exposure. And it's what happened after. That's what I kind of wanted to kind of tell you about. I don't know anything about it going out. They did send me the clip, so I saw it, and I was very, very happy with it. It was beautifully done, and they actually had kids talking about how meditation felt for them and how it had helped them, and the reflection practices that we're doing and taking care of themselves. Letting kids speak for themselves is incredible, and for kids to kind of see other children taking charge of their own lives and being supported to do so, I think is really inspiring as well. So the BBC did a beautiful job of that. But they posted a kind of a short web clip from it up on their Facebook page, and it was quite interesting in that there were kind of like some very supportive comments, but there was also a massive this is a load of crap, and opening up, emptying children's minds to kind of fill it with Eastern rubbish, and then a lot of racism, actually, mostly directed at the children and the school. Is this a school in Asia? Is this? Is this? Snarky, racist, and so on. And it's like being stabbed in the heart. I grew up with racism throughout my whole childhood, and I'm still aware of it out there now. It's in its structural and its very subtle forms. That's where it's kind of at its worst. And comment sections are hell realms. We know better than ever to read them, and yet they hold a strange fascination so that we do. And yeah, so I admit I was very, very hurt by it at first, because it's murder. It's an unconscious or conscious way of murdering somebody. You deny the being that you're aiming your stuff towards the right to fullness and life. So murder of the spirit, if nothing else, and are wanting to assert your values wherever they've come from, and family values and self-radicalization through living in a bubble on the internet and so on. And yet I didn't react, I didn't comment back, I didn't kind of go crazy with it, actually. I just sat with it. I sat with it, and I kind of brought it into my heart, met it with my heart. And as I did that, I could start seeing the pain in people. Not that I can do anything about it. It's each of us, each of our responsibilities to kind of meet our own indoctrination that we've created for ourselves, and that has been put onto us, and the pain in our hearts, and the pain body actively triggering and being moved by unconscious patterns and so on. It's down to each of us to do that. But as I sat with this material, and I didn't sit looking at it, I just felt the kind of the energy of it. I just allowed it to kind of sit here. And of course, the emotional layer in me hurt with it. But as I allowed myself to kind of rest into kind of like the true space of the heart, the sacred space of the heart, it was almost as if these things were offerings in a way. Offerings of people showing me their pain, offerings of people showing me their confusion and their fear and their unwillingness to be open, offerings of being told that there's absolutely a need for this work, a need for us to meet each other in being rather than in words. And I feel like I've been given a great gift. Now I can't go in there. If I go in there and try to meet that at the same level and fight it back, it's not going to change. And I don't mean that we shouldn't ever, I mean, put me in a room with somebody being racist to my face and you'll see a very different John sometimes. I will get back in that person's face. If it's the right thing to do in a way, anger is a necessary response sometimes. But understanding that the world is held back, that we are held back by ignorance of who we really are, ignorance of the true nature of being, which is that we are just life itself, and actually we should just be loving each other. We should just be together. That's what life just wants to kind of come together, and we work so hard and numb ourselves so much and indoctrinate ourselves and keep ourselves ignorant so hard so that we don't come together in love. We fight love at every opportunity on this planet. And, moving in this circle that I move in sometimes, where people are meditating and doing yoga and aspiring to change their lives and kind of meeting themselves. And you meet a lot of delusion in this world too. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of ego in the spiritual world, of thinking that you can add something spiritual to yourself and be special. But I fall into the kind of the narrow view sometimes that the world is kind of sort of getting on with it. Mindfulness is everywhere, yoga is everywhere, and then we haven't changed one damn bit, and there's more war than there's ever been. We're slaughtering each other. And so it just seemed to me that by connecting through the heart, I was given a gift, and it brought me back to non-violence is not the right word, but non-violence against myself. Non-violence in terms of not raging against these people all night in dumbness and in mute agony and pain, but realizing that the gift that they were giving me was they were actually asking me to be even clearer with this work, to be more love, to be and that's not a created state. If I tried to create that, I would break and be exhausted. But to be transparent to it, to be transparent to the love and the light coming out, and meeting that in really practical ways by working with kids and working with groups in different places and one-to-one clients and putting on the retreats and things like that, just genuinely offering space for people to be together and for the love to come out. So it's very interesting to be seen and to kind of learn about that. I've been away from any kind of mainstream activity for a long time. In the writing world, I used to have a lot more kind of mainstream exposure. It's interesting to receive some for this true work that I do, and although the writing was true work, the writing kind of led me on the path to kind of what's happening in this moment, and in fact I'm kind of starting to kind of look at the writing side of things with love again in a new way. Whether there will be something or not, I don't know, but it's a medium that is very enjoyable to work in. So we will see. But yeah. So have a beautiful day. And if somebody's strange or difficult with you out there today, maybe instead of, if the reaction comes up, the reaction comes up, but just notice the reaction in you and don't try and change it, but actually allow that to bring you back into the depths of awareness. Meet it with awareness and love in yourself, and see if there's a gift there for you. Not about something about changing yourself in some way or reducing yourself or allowing this thing to continue, but something beyond that which kind of has wisdom in it. I don't know if that means anything. Anyway, lots of love to you. Have a lovely day. Take care. Bye bye.